Hi guys, it's Melanie Skymoon 1982 here. I think I am finally ready to do this video, and I think I've tried doing this video maybe about 2 or 3 more other times, and I just didn't feel right about posting it. Either I was too emotional or thinking about it too much, or I don't know. Um, if you guys don't know what has happened, or if you haven't been updated on my Facebook, um, I no longer have the lap band. Yeah, I no longer have the lap band. It was removed on October 24th, 2013. I had a major slip. It was not repairable. It was not fixable. In fact, if I would have waited any longer, it was confirmed that it would had eroded inside of me. And he told me, the doctor told me that it would have turned all black, and basically my stomach would have never been the same. Um, so I know you guys want to know what happened or how it all came along. Um, First off, I want to tell you that I would have had the lap band 5 years on January 6th of 2014. So I am, you can say that my band is or was almost 5 years old. I had a total of 7 cc's in my allergen lap band. I am a very successful weight loss surgery patient. Reached my goal in 8 months and lost a total of 115 pounds. I started at 275 pounds and my goal weight was 160 pounds. Um, I want to say that in the year of 2014, I was struggling. I regained about maybe anywhere between 20 to 30 pounds. My all-time lowest was 150. And this year alone, I went almost all the way up to 180 pounds. I did have a goal to go back down to 150 pounds by my birthday, which was on October 22. I was shy 2 days out of my birthday when I had my lap band removed, unfortunately. Um, and I got down to 158 pounds. So I would probably say that I lost about maybe 20 pounds since you last seen me here, which was great. Yeah. Um, how did it all happen? Um, or how does a slip happen? You know, I didn't really do much research on how a slip happens because, of course, once again, Melanie is in denial. I don't know why, because out of all the things that happens to me, with all the with the plastic surgery and me saying, oh, I would never be one of those people that something goes wrong to. Yeah, well, here we go again. Another time that something goes wrong. I don't know whether I'm just like with cursed with bad luck with surgeries or what. I mean, it's crazy. um I want to say that the the reason for my slip hasn't been determined, or I didn't ask the doctor why the slip happened, only because I partially blame myself for the slip. I don't think that it had anything to do with a fluke in the lap band. I think that the fluke happened. I mean, I'm sorry. I think that the slip happened um, because I was irresponsible and I didn't go in time to the doctor when I needed to. I kept prolonging it. Um, so I do partially take blame with what happened, even though it hasn't been determined why I had the slip. But I think that a slip usually happens when you vomit too much. I was not PBing, I was literally vomiting everything that I ate. Now you're probably asking yourself, did you recently have a fill? I did not have a fill. No. Um, this just happened all of a sudden. I went from eating normally, you know, to um, to not being able to eat. The last week that it happened, I wasn't even able to consume any liquids. Nothing. I had to run my mouth in the faucet just so that I can stay hydrated because I wasn't able to get any food down. I wasn't able to get any water down. I wasn't able to get any milk down. I knew I was in trouble when I started hyperventilating, where I wasn't able to drive and I had to pick my son up from school. And I was bent over the wheel trying to make it back home because I couldn't breathe because I don't know what happened, and I was just like, oh my God, this is really bad. I remember my husband just kneeling with me in the bathroom floor, and I was like, what do I have left? I don't have anything left in my system to throw up because there was nothing to throw up. I mean, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. And he just kept tapping my back and my back, and then there was just like this big burp that came out of me, and then just like liquid. I mean, there was nothing there, so I was just vomiting liquid. And usually when you vomit with the lap band, it just goes smoothly. It's whatever you have there or whatever is stuck or something, it just you can just uh, pour it down freely. But I was vomiting with I guess you can say like hard, like it just like came up, and it, like when it hurts, which is usually unnormal. So I knew something was wrong at that point. That was the day before I ended up going to the hospital. Also the day before I went into the hospital, or the night that I actually just decided to go into the emergency room, um, I choked on my spit 3 times uh, during while I was sleeping. Uh, that has never in my life happened. I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I start coughing and I'm like choking on my own spit 3 times. And it was really scary, and it's really dangerous. Okay, because I think you could probably die from it actually. Um, so let me go back and reverse because this video is probably going to be all over the place and it's going to be long. Okay, so I went from everything happened probably within a 3-week period. I just kept saying, you know what? Maybe it's just a phase. Maybe it'll go away because the lab band is very iffy. Some days you just like you can't eat, and then the next day you could eat, and that's the way that the band has always worked for me. But usually, if you wait more than 3 or 4 days, you're usually in trouble. You have to go in for an unfill. So I waited, the week, and I said, you know what? Let me just wait another week. Somebody asked me on Facebook. Well, let me say that it started with I was eating and I was throwing up some foods. Some foods. I wasn't PBing or I wasn't sliming. I was literally throwing it up. So it just came down to maybe some foods. Sometimes while I was eating, I used to drink while I was eating, which is something that you're not supposed to do, but I never had a problem with it in the past. So I just like stopped drinking while I was eating because that had to contribute to throwing up. So I stopped drinking the liquids, and then the next week I wasn't able to eat normally. Even if I wasn't consuming any liquids, I was still throwing it up. And then another week went by, and um, that's when I couldn't drink anything. If I would drink a glass of milk, I would throw it up. I literally had a toilet or a bag or a garbage can by my side, literally the whole time. Um, so then somebody asked me to, did on Facebook, was this maybe something, did, I'm trying to put it into the right words, but did your goal, or I know you had a set goal, did it contribute you from not going to the doctors, or um, and the truth is, I don't want to lie. I, it did play a factor. It did play a factor in me prolonging to go in and get an unfill. I kept saying, yeah, maybe next week I'll be lower, and I could, sure enough, go down to 150 pounds. I wasn't thinking. I It was totally unhealthy. Um, it was really selfish of me to think like that. Um, there is no excuse for it at all. And I hope that anybody that is listening to me right now and listening from my experience uh, will know in the future that if anything like this is happening to you, where you go on even 3 or 4 days without even able to eat anything and you keep throwing it up, that you're smart enough to go to the doctor. Because let me tell you, if you keep throwing up, your band is going to slip. The day that it happened to me, the day before the band slipped, I threw up over 60 times. I threw up over 60 times. I had nothing left. It took about maybe 6 IVs in the hospital to get me hydrated again. I went from being 158 pounds, okay, to being in so many IVs and gaining 10 pounds. That's how much IVs I had on me. Um, they had to call the ambulance on me because they found me in the bathroom, just curled up and screaming. I live in a 3-family house where my mother is upstairs and my sister's downstairs. Sure enough, they heard me screaming. My husband was screaming at me because I wouldn't get up and I was just screaming in pain. The pain was coming from the side of my stomach. I'll show you where. It was coming from here. And I was just screaming in pain. When I got to the hospital, it got even worse. It took 3 people to hold me up. I was not coherent. I wasn't able to hear what anybody was saying because I was just in so much pain. I was barely able to speak. It took 3 people to hold me up because they had to do a fluoroscopy, and they had to do x-rays. They had to roll me in the stretcher because I wasn't able to walk whatsoever. Um, so I just remember all of that, and they said, can you stand up? Can you stand straight? And I just wanted to scream for dear life. I'm like, what is it that you don't, fucking get? Because I am in so much pain and I cannot stand. I mean, this has to be, out of all of my surgeries, this probably has to be one of the worst pains I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. Uh, I'm trying to remember specifics. I'm sorry. So they knew that something was wrong. I mean, it took a really long time because I went in at 5 o'clock in the morning. My doctor's office don't open till 9 o'clock. So all that time I had to deal with the pain. And once they completely unfilled me, I started feeling a little bit better, but I still had some sort of pain. So once they unfilled me, it took about maybe 5 times pulling in and out the syringe, because that was 7 cc's. Um, but I felt a sign of relief once I was completely unfilled. Um, I just found some type of relief, and I was actually able finally to walk into another X-ray, and they found out that the barium that they had given me still was not going down. Right there and then, they knew that there was a problem. The nurse practitioner immediately told me that she took a look at the X-rays, and she told me, "You're gonna have to get this band removed." Of course, I put up a fight because, here we go, 5 years down the line, and I've lived with this band for so long. It was literally heartbreaking for me to even hear that. At the same time, I didn't want to live with this pain, and I would do anything for it to be over. Um, so my emotions were actually mixed at the time when she had told me that. At the same time, I'm like, "Oh, whatever, just do whatever it takes in order for this pain to go away." And then in the other side of my head, I'm like, no, I can't have this band removed. It's a part of me, and this is, I don't want to lose it. So I told her, something that you guys don't know, and it's rather private, is that me and my sister, who had surgery on October 23rd of 2012, we both actually had the same problem. She had a slip. However, we had surgery on the same day. She was fortunate enough that they were able to repair it, and she got a revision surgery. They went back in and they fixed it. They cut, some of her stomach because she had a flap due to her slip, and mine's was unrepairable. Talk about coincidences, right? Um, so we both actually had a slip on the same day, and we were both in surgery on the same day. My sister found out that she had a slip on her surgiversary, her 1 year surgiversary, which was October 23rd. So it's just absolutely crazy. Um, Sometimes I question, how is it that the band can all of a sudden um, go from being normal to just being completely tight and not being able to consume any food. Um, this happened to me exactly the same time last year when my sister had her lap band surgery. I had to go in to the emergency room because I was experiencing cramping, and they told me in the emergency room, it wasn't in my doctor's office, but they told me in the emergency room. Of course, they did, like, the x-rays and stuff like that, and they told me that I had a slip. And they tried to unfill me right there and then, and they told me, we're gonna have to completely unfill you. I'm like, you're not gonna touch me because I need to go to my bariatric doctor and find out what's really going on. And I just remember making a video, of a slip scare last year, same time last year, if you go back in my videos, and I was petrified and I was completely losing it, because I didn't know how to live without my lap band. So this is not new to me. Again, this happened to me again this year, October, and it actually happened. It wasn't a scare, but it actually got removed. Um, so I'm not too sure if I'm questioning whether I all of a sudden got tight because of maybe the weather change. If maybe this month is just not my month where my band just tightens up for no reason due to seasonal changes, or if it's because of stress. And I told you many, many times before where I tried to control my stress level, because every time that I'm stressed out, my band gets tight. This was also the month that Hurricane Sandy happened, and I was under a lot of stress last year, and my band tightened, and I had to again get an unfill because I wasn't able to get down any food. Um, Last year I was smart enough to catch it on time. I would just like I was thinking, and I just went into the doctor. I was like, who's gonna live like this? I went in and I got an unfill. This year I was stupid, and I waited too damn long. Um, so I wasn't too sure if it's stress because what happened this month is that my husband got into 2 car accidents within a 1 week period with my son. Okay, and the second car crash was pretty bad. and I was under a lot of stress. So I don't know whether it's the stress that closes up my band or the seasonal changes. So I'm not sure. Well, anyway, I had the band removed. He told me, "You wanted to fight with me," because I told him, well, my sister, the same thing happened to my sister, and they told her to wait 3 weeks, and to see if the how do you say, the swelling would go down. They unfilled her completely, but they waited 3 weeks for the swelling to go down, and she no longer had the slip. It readjusted itself, and he was able to fill her back in. But however, like 2 months later, same thing happened. She had a slip, and he was like, okay, well, now we're gonna have to revise it. So I was telling him, why can't you let me wait, 3 weeks, wait for it to get unswollen, and then we can go from there. Then if it doesn't fix, if it does not get fixed, maybe we can go ahead and have, then you can take it out, or maybe we can have it revised, or whatever it is. And he basically told me, I do not want to risk your health. We don't know what's going on, because the barium is not going down. Do you understand what that means? You're not going to be able to eat, Melanie, and I am not going to risk that. So he was like, I'm going to do the surgery. We're going to remove it. Do not worry. You can have the lap band done all over again. You're gonna need 3 months, downtime, or until you heal. But please know that you will be able to get another revision surgery. For now, you're going to have it removed. So for all of you guys who are curious, there is, a possibility that later down the line I could get a revision surgery if I wanted to. I asked if my insurance would cover it. I asked him this over maybe 3 times, because I was very worried. And he says, yes, do not worry, your insurance will cover it. So where was I? Oh, okay. So then he tells me, I looked at the pictures. Of course, I wanted to take a picture. He was like, why do you want to take a picture of that? So I didn't bother to like fight him or whatever. But when I tell you that I looked at these pictures and I was happy that I actually had it removed, it looked at almost like a golf ball. I mean, literally a golf ball. And you can see like all the veins and all like it's almost ready to pop, because the I don't know, the lap band or whatever is just like it's squeezing the hell out of it, and it's like something ready to burst. Okay, it was that tight. And my husband was there, and my son was there, and they were looking at the same pictures that I was looking at, and everybody was at awe. They literally covered their mouth, because they couldn't believe what they saw. And he said, do you see that? You wanted me to not remove your lap band. You know what would have happened? That your stomach or your lap band would have eroded. What would have happened by next week? That would have all turned black. It would have eroded, and your stomach wouldn't have been the same. So there you go. You made the right choice. We made the right choice. Recovery time. I would say that I was okay. I woke up fine. I think this was the best surgery that I've actually woken up, and I was doing fine. I was afraid of the gas pain, because every time that I used to wake up from a surgery, I had to deal with the gases, so that was a big worry. I woke up just fine. I woke up great. Actually, the day after, I was walking, I was up and about. I can't complain about the surgery whatsoever. They made 3 incisions. I was really persistent. I told them, please, I had a tummy tuck already. I do not want to ruin my body. I'm like, please try to make the minimal, incisions as possible. And I told him to go into like the same scars that I already had. So he did a good job on that. In fact, I'll show you, because I still have the tapes. All right, so he made this one, and this one. So there's 3 of them. Alright, so now you get to see how I look right now. I've lost weight. If you guys want to know, I did gain 10 pounds um, from the IVs. So I went from 158 to, well, I think it was like almost 12 pounds. I went from 158 to 160 within a matter of a day. Today I am 164, so I know that it's water weight. I'm still trying to get back down. Um, I have mixed emotions all the time. Um, some days are better than others. Yesterday was a really bad day because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I don't have my lap band anymore. How am I going to do this? And then other days like today, I think, Melanie, you are a warrior. You put in probably 70–80% of the work. The lap band did the rest. Um, but you're a warrior and you can do this. You know, you can stay fit. You already know what to do, how to diet, and how to exercise. You know, you already have that mentality. And I've been doing it for so long. I mean, I've been in maintenance for how long now? About 4 years, you know? So I already know it. It's just something in the back of my head. Like I've always had, what if I gain all of this weight back? Um, some of you ask, are you going to have revision surgery? Um, the answer is I really don't know, guys. I have been through so much already, and my body has been through so many surgeries that I am worn out. My body is worn out, and I am tired of having surgeries. I really am. Um, I mean, I've been through a C-section. I've been through the lap band. I've been through the tummy tuck, through lipo, through breast augmentation, through breast lift, to a revision tummy tuck, you know, to now to this, the removal of the lap band, then to what? To get another surgery? I mean, it's a lot. And we're talking within a 5-year span. Um, like I said, I'm tired. Um, I mean, it's not out of the question whether I will get it down the line. I know that I do have, you know, 3 months to decide whether I want to put one in or not, or I can have maybe even a longer time. Um, but right now, I would like to see if I can actually pull this off, do it on my own, because you know that I'm gonna try my best, you know, to do it on my own like I've always tried, you know. I mean, like I said, I'm a fighter and I won't stop. Um, if I do decide to have another surgery, will I have the lap band again? I don't know. I might just think about having the sleeve done because in the past, if you've watched all of my videos before, I've said if I had to do it all over again, if I would have the lap band done, or would I choose another surgery? And I probably said in the videos that I would probably try to choose the sleeve because the lap band is just so hard. And I've always said that from the very beginning. Um, and as you guys know, that the lap band does require a lot of maintenance, a lot of work. Um, so I don't know. I don't know at this point whether I am going to go ahead and try to stick it on, you know, stick it out on my own, or if later on down the future I do decide to have another surgery. As far as my sister goes, she has not recovered as much as, you know, as fully as I have recovered. I'm actually a little worried about her. I don't know if she's made the right decision, only because she's struggled with the lap band from the moment that she's had it. Um, Tiffany has this thing where she is constantly burping, and it worries me. She's always full of gas, and since the surgery, it has not changed. Um, So that worries me about her. She's always in pain, and I don't want her to live like that. Um, it did affect her chances of having, she wanted to have, to try to have a baby this month. You know, she was going to go ahead and try to conceive this month. So this put a damp into her plans. So I feel a little bad about that. So now she's going to have to wait 3 months to try. Um, she has lost a significant amount of weight. I don't know exactly, but I know she went from 240, I think, and she's in the 180s now. Um, but the gases has not stopped, and I'm a little worried about that. And basically, she's burping every, I don't know, 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and it's something that she cannot control. When she talks to you, she's just like burping, and it's something that it's uncontrollable. And like I said, she struggled with it before she went into surgery. She had like the shoulder pain, the back pain, her her I don't know what, her chest always used to hurt, her stomach used to hurt. She wasn't throwing up like me, but it just, from the pain, from the gases, everything is always hurting her, and she's not really able to do anything. Um, Unlike me, she did throw up. She threw up. This is how they found out that she had the slip. Tiffany had threw up. It looked like coffee grinds, you know, and that's when she went into the hospital and they told her that she had a slip. So I didn't throw up coffee grinds. I was experiencing pain, and then, you know, the hyperventilating and the choking in my sleep and not being able to consume any food. Hers was a little different, where she was, you know, she was eating a little bit, throwing up some stuff, but she threw up some type of coffee grinds, and that's when she had knew that's when she found out that she had the slip. All right, guys, I know this video is very long, and if you're still with me, thank you very much. I'll continue to try to update you. I love you all. Take care. Bye bye.